بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most kind, the most merciful, and we send salutations upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best creation to ever walk on the face of this earth. 2 weeks ago we spoke about an ayah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَتَحْسَبُهُمْ أَيْقَاظًا وَهُمْ رُقُودٌ. We spoke about this ayah, and we said that Allah, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put these 7 people to sleep. How He put them to sleep. First of all, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the cave perfect for them, in the perfect situation. Not only that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take care of the way how they slept as well. And you would come upon them, you would look at them, and you would think that they are awake. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, تَحْسَبُهُمْ أَيْقَاظًا وَهُمْ رُقُودٌ. That you would think that they're awake, but they are asleep, deep sleep. And how would you think that they're awake? The ulama, they say that their eyes were open. Their eyes were open and they were deep sleep. You know, sometimes we hear this and we say, how is that possible? How is it possible? You know, we come to this conclusion. How is it possible? It is not far from the truth, my brothers and sisters. We see many animals. They go to sleep and their eyes are open. The fish, they're in the sea. Yes, the scientists, they say that they also sleep as well, but yet their eyes are open. You have a wolf, a different species of wolf there are. There are some wolves, when they sleep, one eye is open, and then the other eye is open. They alternate within their eyes to see which one, to be on the alert as well. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can make these animals fall into deep sleep, fall asleep while their eyes are open, so what do you think about a human being? Obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most capable of that. So you would think that they are awake, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put them in deep sleep. وَنُقَلِّبُهُمْ ذَاتَ الْيَمِينِ وَذَاتَ الشِّمَالِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how He protected them. Because if they were to be in one spot, then the earth would swallow them. And we spoke about that already. وَكَلْبُهُمْ بَاسِطٌ ذِرَاعَيْهِ بِالْوَصِيدِ. And the dog was right outside the entrance, wasid, right outside the entrance of the cave. It shows us what? That the dog was not inside. If the dog was inside, then no malaika. Right? Because hadith says, if no angel of mercy, no angel enters the house of a person who has a dog or has tasawir or pictures. So this dog was outside the cave, shows us what? There were malaika inside. And لو اطلعت عليهم لوليت منهم فرارا ولا ملئت منهم رعبا. That if you were to come upon them, you would look at them and then you would feel such fear. You would look at them and they will emulate such awe from their bodies. You would look at them and you would be fearful and you would turn away, you would run away. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserved them. Ulama, they say that when they were sleeping, they also grew hair, long hair, and their nails were also growing as well. Their eyelashes, their eyebrows were also growing as well. As it does when we sleep, everything grows as well as we were sleeping. Everything is alive. So they were growing, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made their appearance such that when you would look upon them, you would feel fear. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected them. Because if they were to stay in their regular state, as handsome or beautiful they were, then people would come and take advantage of them. People would come, steal from them, take their clothes, whatever they own, would steal from them, harm them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected them in a way where you would look upon them, glance them, just one glance, you would fear for your life. You would look at them and you would fear, and then you would run away. You would be terrified. So this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected them. And one point that we went over, that such a beautiful point, and this is the point of the dog in itself. This dog has accompanied these 7 men on their journey. How it came, we spoke about that before. Where did it come from? What's its name? It doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is that this dog was with these people, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions. And all the details, what's its name, where it came on, what color was it, what breed was it doesn't matter to us. It was a golden retriever, what it was, what a pit bull, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to us. The matter is, the most important thing is this dog was with them. And what did we say? We said that because of this dog being with these 7 people, this dog's status raised in ranks. The 7 people, they became the talk of the town. They became famous. Their status has been raised. These people are so famous. Why? Because of this miracle that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala performed with these people. And because of this dog just accompanying them, just being with them, his name was included with these 7 people. Raqim, we spoke about the Raqim. We said this Raqim was a tablet where these names were written. The 7 people's name, they were written, and the dog was also written on them. So, what does this show us? That wherever we accompany ourselves, if we accompany ourselves with good environment, then we will also rise in ranks. But if we accompany ourselves in bad environment, then we will also lower in rank as well. We will degrade ourselves. And subhanAllah, the best analogy, the best example, beautiful example, is the example of the fragrance store and the blacksmith store. A person, he would walk and he would go into the fragrance store. He wouldn't buy anything. Rather, he would just look at it and just, see it and put it away, pass through and leave. Just because of him being in that environment of that beautiful smell of the fragrance, of the cologne, of the perfume, this person would leave smelling good. Vice versa. A person who would go to the blacksmith store. A blacksmith is the one who, he makes knives, he makes swords, the metal swords. He beats it, he puts it into the fire, and in the hot coal, he beats it, he takes it out, and beats the metal, and it makes it straight. This is a blacksmith, and he blows air into the hot coal, hot fire, and it would emulate smoke. Smoke would come out, and the whole room would be smoky. So this person, he goes to this store. He sits with the blacksmith. He doesn't purchase anything. He just looks how he's making it, and he passes by. This person would come out smelling like smoke. In our day and age, you can say cigarette. Sometimes we're amongst these people, subhanAllah, right after iftar, they have that crave. This is what it does, the cigarette, the vapes, the marijuana, all these things, it causes a crave. So when we stay away from it for a very long time, when we're fasting, we start to crave that. These people, they crave it. They want it, they can't. Forget about water, forget about zamzam, forget about ruafza. That is the most delicious drink you can have after breaking your fast, right? Forget about all these. First, I need to take my cigarette. This is the thing. And when you're around these people, as soon as you walk out the masjid, you smell that. And it doesn't smell good, my brothers and sisters. No one likes the smell of cigarette. No one. Someone who doesn't do, they can testify for this. That is the most disgusting smell they can have. So this person, he goes through this blacksmith store and he comes out reeking of this black smoke, of this disgusting smell of smoke. He didn't buy anything. He was just there in that environment. He passed through, he left. It smelled like this. So my brothers and sisters, we need to see. Where are we in our environment? These are for the youngsters. The elders are already here, mashallah, in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Already their time is they have passed. No offense, but this is more towards the youth. More towards the youth. They are in the time of fitna. No one can deny this. They're in the high schools, they're in the colleges, one of the worst places you can be as a youth. And they're in this environment. So they need to see, what is their environment? Am I in an environment where I'm reminded about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Am I in an environment where I look at this person and I want to dress like them, and I want to wear a thobe, I want to wear a topi, I want to go to the salawat, I want to go to the masjid, I want to remember Allah, I want to get closer to Allah. Is our environment like that? Or is our environment with those people who every time we are with, we adopt their bad characteristics, whether it be swearing, whether it be drugs, cigarettes, marijuana, alcohol, zina, looking at haram, all of these things. When we're in this type of environment, we start to adopt it not even without thinking, we start to adopt these characteristics. What a child would get into this environment, his friends would say, just take one puff, it's okay. One puff is not going to harm you. And this child says, no, 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 it's okay. My mom's going to kill me, my father's going to kill me. But slowly, 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 shaitan, he works his ways. And this pious child who was hafid of the Quran, now he is with these bad people. He is doing drugs. He has left the masjid, almost about to leave Islam because of the environment. And for these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. Those people who neglect the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who stay away from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who reject the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for them is ma'ishatan danka. It is the worst life they're going to live. Why is their life so miserable? Because they don't have the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَنَحْشُرُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ أَعْمَى. And on that day, on the day of judgment, we're going to raise them blind. قَالَ رَبِّ لِمَا حَشَرْتَنِي أَعْمَى وَقَدْ كُنْتُ بَصِيرًا. That, Ya Allah, why was I raised blind when I used to see in the world? كَذَلِكَ أَتَتْكَ آيَاتُنَا فَنَسِيتَهَا وَكَذَلِكَ الْيَوْمَ تُنْسَى. That our signs came to you. A person came to you, he was wearing a thobe, he was wearing a topi, he came to you, called you towards the salah, tried to remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you shunned him away. You went with the friends that reminded you of cigarettes, that reminded you of zina, that reminded you of haram. They reminded you of temporary pleasure. You went with them and you forgot our signs. So today we forget you. Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forget? No. What does it mean here to forget? Completely neglect. He come to you, get out of here. Like this. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He makes us amongst those who are attached in the good environment and keep us safe from the bad environment. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين. اللهم لك الحمد كله ولك الشكر كله وإليك يرجع الأمر كله. اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام وتباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. ربنا تقبل منا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اغفر لآبائنا وأمهاتنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وعافه واعف عنهم وأكرم نزلهم ووسع مدخلهم واغسلهم بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقهم من الخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس. ربنا تقبل منا ببركة القرآن العظيم وببركة شفاعة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. والفاتحة. وصلى الله تعالى خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا رب.